must feel kind of weird.
Yeah, but the weeks don't feel normal, and the weeks aren't going to feel normal here for a little while. But, hey, we'll make sure we find time to get on the phone and connect, because I really do look forward to visiting with you guys every Friday.
And thank you. It doesn't happen very often. Does it feel like Friday? I mean, what day is it in your world?
No, season, especially this late in the season, you're coming off a Monday night game where we rolled into Dallas around 3:45 or so, and then you start looking at, okay, well, we play Sunday. Then, okay, who do we play now? Oh, yeah, Kansas City on Thursday. And then, oh, yeah, then we get a mini. No, we don't get a mini bye. We go to Detroit. And then, okay, yeah, like you really do lose track of it. And, but hey, it's that time of year, man. And you roll up your sleeves, you get to work, and we got to start stacking some wins.
Coach, no truth to the rumor that you were throwing up in the casino parking lot, right?
That wasn't you.
That wasn't you?
No, I do that. I do that in my room. I prefer to do that in my room.
Like a gentleman. Like a gentleman. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes, it's much easier in my room. And again, I just don't want to disturb people.
Yeah,
I just keep it in my room.
It's just comfortable around that.
And somebody's going to step in it in the parking lot. It's just
sleep in the bathroom like a man.
It's gross. All right, let's talk about the game last week. It felt like an opportunity for your guys to sort of get right. And I know the opponent is, I mean, it's the Raiders. It is what it is. But it was nice to see you guys make an inferior opponent look inferior. You feel like you guys built some real confidence coming out of Vegas?
Well, I think, number one, I thought it was our most consistent game we've played. I really felt like, all three phases we really played pretty well. Again, certainly wasn't perfect, but I do feel like that, yes, we came out of there, with some swagger and confidence on defense. I thought the play style on defense felt different. And that's more than just one or two guys. It's just the way we played. There was a confidence to what we were doing. We certainly, made them not even want to try to run the ball. I mean, really, they didn't even try to run the ball because we were, so dominant up front. And I just think at the end of the day, you can draw from that. We played a team that doesn't have a lot of victories, and we played well. And we always focus on us, guys. I mean, we're getting ready to play a team that's got a lot of victories, and they're really good. But we're gonna focus on ourselves, and if we do that, it normally works out pretty well for us.
Strange question: are you superstitious? Is there something? Do you do things regularly because you just won?
Not really. I mean, there's times that I am, but not really. No, and there's certain things, but for the most part, no, I'm not like over the top in any way, shape, or form.
The only reason I ask is, Philadelphia coming to town, certainly the rivalry goes without speaking and all that kind of stuff. And knowing full well exactly what you're going to get, I don't think Philadelphia is going to trick anybody with what they're bringing to you. I was just wondering if you had some kind of curious thing that kept things rolling along with your players. And let's focus on this. I want to talk about the tush push before we go any further. Thoughts on that? I heard Quinton talk about it the other day. Are we tired of this thing?
I mean, I think we're all tired of trying to stop it because they're good at it. And again, at the end of the day, when I get asked about it, which I do all the time, I think, hey, look, at the end of the day, they're good at it. Do I think it's the prettiest playing football? No, I really don't. I do think the league's done a nice job of trying to officiate it a little bit better in terms of making sure everybody gets off on the snap count and things like that. And that there's no leaning or anything like that. But at the end of the day, hey, I think you got to give them a little bit of credit. And, it's when teams start adapting it, you watch the Bills do it some, you watch other people do it some. Again, do I think it's here to stay? No, I do not. But again, I give them more credit than I do spend time complaining about it.
You guys already played this Eagles team once. Obviously, it was a weird game. There was a lightning delay. The Eagles' best player got kicked out before the game even really started. What do you take away from that first game? Because quite frankly, even though it was a loss, there was a lot of positive things, especially when you look back at the season in hindsight. Like that was one of your team's better defensive performances. Like there are some positives to be gleaned from that game. What do you take from that week one matchup?
Well, I mean, we look at the game. I mean, they are, again, a little bit different, just like we are. Let's start on really both defensive sides of the ball. I mean, we look way different now, and you're right. We did play well in that game other than, Jalen, got out a few times on us. Jalen Hurts, of course, got out on us a few times, and we didn't contain him very well. But We're different. We've got, Demo back. We've added Quinnen. We've got different guys playing on the edges outside some. You got Logan Wilson. You got Kalen Carson's playing. You got Siobhan playing. You got different things like that. And so that's different. And they're different. Like you said, we didn't have to play, arguably one of the most dominant interior defensive linemen and Jalen Carter. They go out and they get, Jalen Phillips. And so Jordan Davis is playing great. So again, we're all a little bit more advanced from a personnel standpoint. But at the end of the day, they have a great identity. They know who they are. And again, we kind of know who we want to be, but we got to play more consistent. And my big challenge to guys last week going into Vegas with all the things we had going on was it was going to be about execution. And I was just really pleased with our execution last game. I thought our guys really did a great job in all three phases of doing right and making good calls and executing and communicating, things like that. And I think that's why we performed well. And we're going to need to do that again this week against a team that doesn't do a whole lot, guys. They really don't. They don't do a whole lot. What they do it well. And that's why it's going to come down to execution again.
The execution thing is key, obviously. And you're bringing in all those new bodies on defense. You talked of the confidence. Was the confidence there before the game, or did it grow during the game?
No, it was there before the game. It really was. I felt that way, just even getting on the plane, heading out to Vegas. And I think it's because, you've added some veterans leadership. You had some young guys that were, ready because they've worked so hard to be ready. That's, of course, Kalen Carson and Vaughn and all that stuff. But, again, getting two of your elite safeties back with Hooker and Donovan Wilson, which, let's be honest, guys, the safeties drive everything. They make all the calls to set formation adjustments and coverage calls and things like that. And so there was confidence getting on the plane. And, of course, when you go out and you play well early on, it kind of just continues to build.
You guys, obviously there's been a lot of talk about your defense this year and the struggles, and the offense has generally been really good. It's been kind of the opposite for the Eagles. The defense, we everybody, there's nothing bad to say about it, but their offense has struggled. They're not running the ball as well as a year ago. The offensive line, Saquon Barkley, even Jalen Hurts seem less. They've all been less efficient. Their offensive line is banged up. Do you feel like a team that was so committed to this identity of run first when running doesn't come easy, that this is a real, I don't want to call them vulnerable, but this is a good opportune time to play them?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we've talked about this before. I think a couple weeks ago, and I look at it as the play caller, myself, is, when you're made to be kind of one-dimensional or you're struggling in one area or the other, it is a little bit challenging. And again, I'm very, careful with what I say, just because I have so much respect for Nick Sirianni and his staff and what they've built, from just really the entire team. But this offense is dangerous, man. And again, it comes in waves, and, Jalen obviously does a great job of protecting the football. He can extend plays. Again, you can't sleep on Saquon, because if you give him an inch, he can take it a mile. And then again, the receivers, they're talented. So, again, they're probably a little bit like we've been at times, where it's just not the consistency that you're used to. And certainly I hope we can make it difficult for them this weekend.
This is, the running game certainly is going to be vital. And we've watched Jaden Blue not play a whole lot. Are you looking for another back to kind of supplement Williams? And if so, is he there, or is Malik Davis going to be the guy?
Again, everybody, wants to talk a lot about Jaden, and look, I love Jaden Blue. I think there's so much that we're excited about with Jaden. And but when you talk about, as you're building out your game day roster, there's not just offense or defense that factors in, and you have to put in the special teams aspect. And when you get to, the latter part of your game day, guys that are going to be up, you have to look at, okay, all right, how does he affect defense? Okay, well, good. Well, he affects defense this way, but what about special teams? Okay, well, how does this guy affect offense? Okay, well, all right, well, how about special teams? And really, Malik Davis is a guy that, from the time he's come back, I'll be honest with you guys, he's been, so much more mature and confident. And I mean that, we obviously, released him a while back, and when he came back, it felt different. And he's really just been incredible in in both phases, the offensive side of it from a pass protection. He's got run talent, but he's really made himself irreplaceable a little bit on special teams. He's the personal protector. He's basically involved in all four of our core teams. And so it's not that we like one player over another. It's like when you're getting to those last couple spots of your roster, guys, you have to factor in everything, because you have to do more than, unless you're the starter or the star, you have to be more involved than in just offense or defense.
You guys in Vegas last week, the Raiders offense is pretty bad in general. The offensive line is atrocious, but I was curious your grades on the new guys, and not just Quinnen and Logan, but also DeMarvion, like who's new to this season. How do you feel like the new guys blended in and took advantage of their first opportunities here?
Yeah, I thought it was great to see those guys play. I know it was fun, for me to watch Agent Zero out there running around, and he affects the game even when he doesn't, have come away with 15 tackles or whatever it was. But again, I think if you ask Demo, he played good. Certainly, things were moving fast for him at times and whatnot, but he's just got such incredible instincts and makeup speed that I just love watching him run and hit and things like that. But for the most part, we were very consistent. So, Quinnen did a nice job. Logan, with his opportunities, did a very good job. Revel, he did a good job. Kalen Carson, I can't say enough good things about these guys, and that's why I believe what we were feeling with the confidence and being excited to come back and play after everything we've dealt with over the past 2 weeks. It was great to see those guys really go in there and really compete like crazy, and they played well.
Have you worked on what Dak's going to say to Jalen Carter to get him thrown out early? Is there anything that we can go at?
We've got different people. Yeah. Well, we expect that they think it's going to be Dak, so we're going to come around, maybe use some different people. We're identifying that. I can't give it away on the radio, but I think we're going to have to play Jalen this week, and again, that's always a tough thing.
I got a good Yo Mama joke if you something like that might help.
I would just say
maybe I'll get kicked. Hey, maybe I'll get kicked out. How about that? I'll get kicked out. I'll do whatever it takes.
Maybe
do your part, right?
You go spit on Jalen. Maybe Jalen spits back.
Yeah,
and
maybe
you guys both go.
Take a punch for the team.
I'll say this. I know every time my son says 6'7", my wife wants to hit him.
6'7".
So if Dak gets in Jalen's face and starts saying 6'7", maybe Jalen will hit him, and then that's that makes life a lot easier.
We're here to help.
Hey, listen, I'd much rather Jalen hit me or anybody hit me than Dak. Okay, so look, I am going to take one for the team. I'll go up, talk to him, and tell him what a great player he is, and come up with a few other things maybe. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, he's an incredible football player, man. And it was nice not having to go against him, but I don't think we're going to be that fortunate this week.
Well, and I don't think you're getting a weather delay either. So you guys are gonna have to just go straight through the game. It looks like this week. Coach, best of luck. I know this is a big one for you guys as you try and get this season righted. This is the start of a pretty good gauntlet of games: Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers. Your next 5. It doesn't sound like there's a gimme in there, but it's always good to get it started off on the right foot. So best of luck this week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach.
There you go. That is head coach Brian Schottenheimer.